No, this video is not clickbait. My bike is for sale. And I'm guessing that if you clicked on this video, you're wondering why. So here is why I'm selling my 2006 GSX-R 600.
Don't judge me, I'm stress eating. I'm stress eating because of her. Last night when I was riding home, all the electronics decided to die. Luckily, she made it home. Last time I wasn't that lucky. So when I got home, I switched it off and tried to start her again, but then the battery was dead. So she's been on charge all night, and now we're gonna try and see what the problem is. Last time it was a regulator, which is really easy to change. So I'm kinda hoping it's that again, but if it is, it's really annoying. So we're gonna take the tank off and the airbox off because all the plugs for the stator and the regulator are under there. And then we'll test all the connections to see if any of them aren't working. So what should happen is that when you turn your ignition on, your voltage should drop because it's drawing power. But then when you start it, it should climb because then it'll be charging the battery, but it doesn't. So we disconnected the regulator rectifier from the stator and we pulled it out and it looks fine. The last one that burnt out was all burnt on the back and the cables were melted. But then it's the connection that was to the stator from the regulator that is crispy. I don't know how well you can see that, but all those wires are melted together. So basically the bike wasn't charging and we thought it was due to the melted wire here. So that wire has been fixed, but the bike still wasn't charging. So we checked the regulator and the regulator wasn't working. Okay, so this is the second day now and I'm currently outside Powersport Motorcycles to try and get a new regulator because they had last time. And they had again. The funny part is that Suzuki is right next to Powersports. It's a completely different shop and I chose to go to Powersports because this Suzuki is so useless. Okay, so now I have the new regulator and I'm gonna fit that to see now if the bike will charge.
So that is why I'm selling my bike. After going through 2 regulators, I just don't think this bike is for me. And it's kind of bittersweet because I like this bike so much. So it hurts to get rid of it, but it's always exciting to get a new bike. So the main problem with the regulator is that it's mounted right in front of the engine, which obviously an engine gets really hot, and coincidentally, so do regulators. So it isn't the ideal place to put one in the first place, and Suzuki decided to put it there. And I think for most people that own this bike, they just go out on a Saturday or a Sunday and do some highway runs. And like that, the air is rushing through it and it's keeping the regulator nice and cool. But I don't do much highway riding. I ride a lot through town, going to take photos and doing silly stuff like that. So the heat builds up, doesn't get blown out, and it cooks the regulator pretty quickly. But now the bike is fixed. There's a brand new regulator, the wiring's all fixed. So theoretically, if it's kept cool, it should last forever. There's nothing wrong with the bike. But we are getting rid of it. And it is really sad. This was my first 600, my first sort of real motorbike. I had a 125 before this, and I've enjoyed every minute with it. But it's time to move on to something different. But basically I want something to remember this bike by. When I got it, I did some cinematic shots, but my camera skills have improved a lot since then in my eyes. So I sort of just want a cinematic edit of this bike before I let it go, so that on the days that I miss it, I can just watch that and it'll be like it's with me. And it'll be like a farewell video as well. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy some sexy cinematics of this bike. isn't she beautiful? You know, the coolest thing about this bike is that pretty much its whole life has been documented between YouTube videos and Instagram photos. If I ever miss it, there's like so much to look at. But then I guess the question is, what's next? And is there a next? And absolutely there's a next. There's always another motorbike. At this moment in time, I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna get. I know what I want, but I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. But there'll definitely be videos on that. So if you're interested, please subscribe to keep track of that. And the thing is that I love everything about this motorbike. It just doesn't seem to love what I do with it. But I don't think that's gonna stop me riding a similar type of motorbike. To be honest, this wasn't the exact bike that I wanted in the first place. I absolutely love this bike and I probably wouldn't trade it for much now. But in the very beginning, and when I was a little kid, the GSX-R wasn't my dream bike. So maybe that gives me the opportunity to have my dream bike, whatever that may be. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in the next motorbike, please subscribe. If you enjoyed this beautiful thing and you're gonna miss it, please hit that like button. And I'll see you in the next one.